Hey there, good evening everyone. Welcome to once again another edition of Fortune Talks. So we got some amazing speakers once again. Shankar Kulkarni. Say hi, Shankar.
Hi.
Prema, Rajat,
Hey,
and
hi,
Prema.
Sukhit. Hi, everyone.
Hi
Hi,
guys.
hi. You know what? Today, one of our fortune changers, that is Rajat, has come up with a brilliant topic. You know what the topic is all about? It's about how habits create miracles in life. Isn't it interesting? From my own experience of watching myself as a distant observer and looking at some of my friends around here in this room and outside as well, I found out that the one differentiating factor that made them stand out and make them battle all the odds that they went through and come out as winners was what defined them in their moments of weakness, moments of doubt, self doubt, irritation, all of that. And the main point, which I found was very different for all of them, was that they had cultivated habits that were something very unique. And they, in spite of getting results or not getting results, they persisted with those habits and they reached a stage where it started working on them and doing wonders for them and their lives. Today it's all about creating impact in other people's lives. It's not just about your life, and that's what we are trying to do with this Fortune Changers, Fortune Talks. So today I will first shoot my question at Prema. So Prema, how can habits create miracle in health? Can you just share and throw some light on that?
Sure, Satish. So I would like to start by saying, it is not success, it is not success which leads into healthy habits, but it is actually the healthy habits which leads to success in, it could be any aspect of your life. So because even I had this misconception thinking that, it's easy for successful people to get into healthy habits. But so when I personally, started getting into these healthy habits, and that's when I realized it is actually the healthy habits which will lead us into success. So let's say, for example, when you take these successful people, anybody, right? You can name it like Robin Sharma, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, or T. Harv Eker. Just take any of your, favorite trainers or successful people. They have these, the top most important habits as daily routine. And so when it comes to health, since I talk about health, so when you see what are the common healthy habits they have, all these people begin their day with meditation, and they have physical activity, whatever they like. It could be yoga or martial arts or whatever is close to their heart. And the most important thing is they have this healthy eating habit. So if let's, for example, take even these people, six of us in this room. If you ask what is the one thing we all have in common, all the six of us, we begin our day with meditation, a physical activity, and healthy eating. Do you all agree?
Yeah.
Maybe we all are experts from different fields, but when it comes to healthy habits, especially when it comes to the health aspect, we all have this common, right? This is how we all begin our day. So that is why I keep saying it's not the success which leads you into healthy habits, but it's the healthy habits which can lead you into success. Name it any aspect of your life. So
Makes sense.
all so you can actually take guidance from any of your favorite trainer or any successful person. They all set health goals. Just like business goals, your financial goals, they have health goals. You need to have goal, otherwise you wouldn't know where you are actually heading. And when once you set your health goals, you also need to make exceptional health as your priority. And that's what all these successful people do. They make their health as priority. And the most important thing, they don't get distracted but by what other people are doing or saying. Now they have their own routine, what they get, whatever attracts them, whatever they like, they make sure they follow that, and they do not get distracted with others success or with others results. Sometimes what happens when you are when you get to know this person is getting results from this or that, but what happens is you might get into, like, maybe jealousy or unworthy feelings, which is actually not unnecessary in achieving success in health. So but all these successful people are so strong that they do not get distracted from other people. And the most important thing is they read books to get inspired. So you have to read all kinds of books. If you want to know about health, you have to read health related books. And so that's why habits actually can create miracle.
Super, super, very nice, well said. So, what practices can help in miraculous transformation of health, according to you?
Okay, so it's very simple actually, right? So because what normally we complicate it, but otherwise the reality is very simple. Being healthy is not a trick or it's not a hereditary trait. Rather, it's a way of life. All it requires is that decision making and discipline to keep, going forward. So for example, you can, adding fruits and vegetables in your diet is a perfect foundation for starting a healthy routine, because the more fresh fruits and vegetables you add, into your food, so you basically get the earth energy through your food, right? So food is grown, you know how the food is grown. So through food you are able to get that earth element or the earth energy into your body. And learning breathing techniques or yoga, you get that air element. And staying well hydrated is very important. So when you are well hydrated throughout the day, you can save money and live free from chronic diseases forever. So by that way, water energy is taken care, right? And
Yeah.
sunbath, we all know the importance of sunbath, but we hardly follow it. So what you can actually do is you can combine your activities, along with sunbath. Maybe you can go for a walk. Usually, it is recommended that you do your walkings. Expose yourself to sunbath maybe in the morning before, let's say 8. That's good, or
Mhm.
like 4 to 6 p.m, not in between. It should be that mild sun, not the bright sun. That's very
Mhm.
important. So you can combine your walking during that sun bath, or you can practice your breathing and yoga under sun if possible, or any activity that you like, whatever exercise you like, if possible you can do it under the sun. So the fire element is taken care. And then managing your mental health is very, very important. You can take some meditation classes, take guidance from somebody, join some meditation classes, so that that actually helps you to cultivate positive thinking. Positive thinking is very, very important. Last week our Rajat was mentioning, right, about thoughts. So most of our 90% of our thoughts are actually negative, and we are not making use of our actual potential. So meditation actually, it will help you to manage your mental health, where you can transform your thoughts into positive thinking. By that, your ether energy is taken care. That means you are now in alignment with the five elements of nature. That is, you're getting the earth energy from your food, you're getting the air energy element from the breathing techniques, and you're getting the water element, water energy from being well hydrated. You're getting the fire element from your sun bath, and your positive thinking, that is the ether element, you're getting through meditation practices. So that's why I call, that's like being in alignment with the five elements of nature, and that will definitely create a miraculous transformation in your health, because the health we have today is the result of our choices made yesterday, and the health we will have tomorrow will be the result of your choices today. So choose wisely, and become healthy, and make exceptional health your number one priority, not even regular health. This is basically the Robin Sharma's quote. So I'm a fan of Robin Sharma. He talks a lot about health. So he's the one who says, make not just regular health, but make exceptional health as your number one priority.
Wow, so well said, Prema. Thank you very much for those insights. I think Prema has to rush for another meeting. I think whenever you are dropping off, please feel free to drop off. So
Sure.
the next, and thank you for your time, for your
Thank you.
commitment, for your dedication to stick to this commitment and come for this talk. All the very best to you.
Thank you so much, Satish.
So Vivek, our fitness coach in terms of financial health, okay, that's the man, okay, and especially in these times where you see so much of challenges happening around the world, in India and all across, especially where in India the salaried class were huge on IT sector and so many other manufacturing sectors and so many sectors where even we, as you know, when we were studying in colleges, we had this aspiration to get into the best of companies and join in very senior levels and move across the ladder and all of that. But that class of people are getting a major hit today. Okay, and I would like to ask Vivek this question: that what are the five money habits that every salaried individual needs to cultivate right from the word go?
I think this is the most one of the most sought after or most searched for thing on Google or anywhere else, right? So as usual, like how our Shankar Dada likes the creators. So there is some video that I have actually brought together, okay, just to make it very easy for people to digest this information. I would just be playing that right now. Okay, let's just talk about this. Are you able to see my screen right now? Confirm to me yes if you're able to see the video that I'm trying to share, the screen that I'm trying to share.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Okay, no problem. What I'll do is I will, yes. Okay, I hope now you're able to see. Not yet?
Do we need to give permissions to you for sharing?
Okay. Okay, let's not waste time. What we'll do is we'll just figure out, see the 5 must cultivate habit, money habits.
Now your screen. Now your screen is clear. Yeah, I can see.
Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, is number 1, maintain 7 bank accounts. How many? 7. Remember how many? 7 bank accounts and auto transfer your savings month on month. Just make it auto debit from your savings bank account. Whenever money comes in your salary, right? The next day or the same day, the particular 20% should go off to your savings. Number 1 rule. Okay, that number 1 habit is what you need to cultivate. Okay, and all it takes is just 2 minutes to initiate that auto transfer, guys. Everything is online today, right? And then number 2 is that delay your purchases by just 30 days. If you have an impulsive buying habit, a habit that hey, Amazon or Big Billion Day sale is happening, or Flipkart sale, or that one, this one, anything that you have, either plan it for 30 days before, or at the moment you get the thought that, hey, you know what, I feel like buying this, just delay it by 30 days. You know what will happen? In 30 days, you will start realizing that, you know what, I lived without that particular object or the particular good or service for 30 days. I think I can manage without that. And you know what? You have saved your money, which is nothing but in future, you've earned your money. Okay. And number 3 habit that I always say that just say no to one of your spending category. Forget everything else. Don't try to save money at everything. Just take one of the biggest spend category and go lean only in that category. Start by cutting down by 10% first month. Second month, cut it down by 20%, and then 25% perhaps, like that. Just one category. For example, I would say if you're spending like, let's say 10,000 rupees on your car, fuel, and services and all that, try to use your car a little lesser, okay, so that spend that particular category of the spend for car should start reducing every month. Okay, that's the third habit I would really recommend that everyone cultivates. And the fourth one that I talk about is, if at all you're in receipt of any bonus or you're in receipt of any big money, which is like it's like a bonus, right? Surprise. Use that to prepay off your loans. Don't use that to buy a brand new iPhone. Don't use that to invest, because depending on your loan tenure that you are in, because loan typically has 3 phases. If you're in the 3rd phase, then it's better to invest. If you're in the 1st or 2nd phase, then always prepay your loan. Okay, that's the habit that you need to cultivate. And which means even if it's 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees extra every month that you have, keep prepaying. Okay. And the 5th habit, I always say that wake up at 4:50 a.m. and attend the financial fitness club, or any club, as what Prema was mentioning, join some fitness and all that. I'm starting a 5 a.m. club where I would want to take people through a lot of money concepts. To be part of these things, to cultivate a habit of getting up early. Now these are the things that will really help you in ways you wouldn't have even imagined or begun to imagine. These are my answers to you, Satish. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, that's very amazing. In fact, some of those points immediately resonated with me. And I love this idea about prepayment of loans, because sometimes people, especially in that salaried class, when we are working the same thing, you have so many buy list, and we're looking for these sale to happen, or when you get some windfall profit or some sudden money out of unexpected quarters, you look at ways on how to spend it. But if you are a little conscious from what you said, point number 3 or 4, where you said prepay your loan, which is there, that's a huge thing. And in terms of interest, if you calculate, it is huge amount that will be going into your savings. It will add to your kitty in the long run.
Just to give you a small example, if at all you are in a 20-year loan, and let's say you're paying around 50K per month EMI, just by start prepaying 5,000 rupees extra towards your EMI, and if your EMI is 45K, let's say, okay, you start paying 50K instead of 45K, 5,000 rupees a month extra. If you start prepaying, whatever is a 20-year loan tenure will straight away shoot down to 13 years or 14 years. You have freaking saved 4 or 5 years of your life EMI. That's the power of prepayment compounding. Yeah.
Super. Yeah, that's a very powerful statement to say, Vivek. And also, when you prepay, the kind of leverage that you get in terms of the saving, in terms of your enhanced capability to take more loans is also higher. Of course, even I would like to propagate the fact that try and go low on loans. Look at how you can be debt free as early as possible. So that brings me to the next question. What are the habits that you would propagate to people who are not salaried class, who are stepped into their own venture like an entrepreneur or business owners? What would be your money habits mantra for them?
Like all of us, right? So even if it's for business guys, the one that I covered already, 5 things will still remain the same. But in addition to that, just 2 more I would like to add. First is always believe in paying yourself. If you're a business owner, try to get to a point of drawing salary from your business. Don't eat the profits of the business. Limit that every month I need to take, let's say, 50,000 or 1 lakh for my expenses. That's it. Anything else, leave it for the business to grow. Don't eat into the profit. Take salary from your business. So that's called paying yourself first. Okay. And second thing is indirectly or directly, these smaller habits of what you eat, what time you get up, how well you work out, these 3 things matter a lot. So be very, very mindful on what you eat, and be very mindful on what time you wake up. And I mean, see, these are the common things that everyone talks about, but only when you start implementing, you see the flowers blooming in your own garden, I would say.
Very good. Very well said. Very well said. And so basically what you're saying is that not just in terms of financial fitness, also the health, fitness, and all of that has to be intertwined into your daily habits, and then you can get the best out of your life.
Of course. That's the secret sauce.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Thanks, Vivek. Thanks for those insights.
Thank you. Thank you.
That brings us to Chetna, who is the podcast queen in this group. She had a very wonderful journey where she did a lot of stuff, tried a lot of stuff, and then currently she found her passion, and she's helping a lot of people find the passion, find their niche, also help them to metamorphosize themselves into being podcasters, because today is the world of social media. Today you have the best of times to be living in, where you can leverage your brand online, and what best way or better way than doing it through podcast. So Chetna, your first question to you would be this: how do you develop new habits?
Okay. Thanks, Satish. Hi, all. So my answer to this question is, like, I usually give a definition. Each one of us have a different definition for habit. My definition for habits is habits are the roadmaps for your destination. So you should be very clear that roadmaps are used to walk through that path to reach your destination. So here comes back that there are simple steps which I would like to share is, like, first of all is, like, know that why you want to change the habit is first thing. And second thing is, which habit of yours you want to change. You should know that if you want to change, cultivate or develop a new habit. So once you know that, I know that, okay, for example, I'll take an example of health. So if I want to hit the gym every single day, so what is that, why I want to go for the gym, and what is that I'm going to get for it? First thing. The second very important thing is change your environment. So when I say change your environment, it's not about it's people around you, the kind of content you consume, the kind of physical things which is visible to you. So it includes everything. So these are the few things. Change your entire environment which will help you to cultivate that new habit. Third, but not the least, is to have an accountability partner, who will help you to push and at any cost and develop that habit. And usually they say that it takes around 21 to 254 days to cultivate a new habit, but on an average, it takes 66 days. Right? So don't keep that deadline as a destination. Okay, I've reached that. See, if you want to if you want to run a marathon, don't think of, okay, I have to be run a 21 kilometers marathon and finish it. Desire to develop a habit to become a runner, not to complete that marathon. Similarly, if it is a habit of cultivating a health, so don't develop that, okay, I have to go hit the gym, I have to reduce 70 kgs, it's done. No, you have to go hit the gym because you have to develop a good health, right? So think in that aspect and develop a new habit. So that's it.
So well said. That's so insightful. Yeah. So what is one habit cultivated this year which has made a huge difference to your life, and which has impacted your life and taken the trajectory to a totally different level?
Yeah, sorry guys, I think I had to go offline. See, one new habit, Satish, which I would like to share is, like, I used to collect a lot of books and keep in my shelf. So the one change which I developed is reading the books. And this year, I think COVID has given enough time for me to cultivate that new habit. And this was possible only because of one of my accountability partner who encouraged every single day. It's not that you have to read the book, you have to become a reader. So once you get into that zone, you have to become a reader. It's not that you have, okay, I finished this book, I have the second book, third book. So once you develop that habit, you'll get into that reader zone. Start with reading 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 10 pages, or 15 pages. It's okay. Keep a time for yourself and read at that particular time until it becomes a routine for you. So if I have to give an example, nobody's taught us to tie our shoelace, right? So over a period of time, by repeating the same thing, we develop that it doesn't take much requirement for us to go bend, tie the shoelace and all. Similarly, yes, any new habit which you cultivate, it takes time. Give time, but be consistent in doing those things. So I think for me this year, reading the books is one new habit which I developed. I think until now I've read around 30 books. And it's for me, it's really a great achievement because I have not read a single book till last year. I used to take at least 2 to 3 months to complete one book. But this year it has become 30 books. So I think that's a new habit. And how it has impacted me is like tremendous. I think it's all of us know that the people who are great leaders spend a lot of time in reading, whether it is their relevant books or the personal health books or anything. So you can imagine 30 books, how it could have impacted my life and how it has changed me as a person. So the kind of way I'm talking right now, as I told you also the last week, so it helps a lot individually. The transformation happens and you become more confident, you become more knowledgeable, and you become more skilled in your particular topic once you start reading the books. I think reading has helped me a lot. And now I can tell myself that I'm a reader.
Wow, that's so nice. That's
very
so nice. So I think that point is super. Okay, what he said. Forget about reading books. Forget about finishing so many books. Start with cultivating the habit of reading books. Reading a few lines, few minutes, few hours in a day, and automatically be on this journey. And that's very, very nice. I have read being finished 30 books this year itself. That's amazing. All the very best to you, Chetna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that brings me to the next speaker, who is Rajat Jain. He's in
No, Satish, yes. If you don't mind, I'm sorry for the interruption. Because Chetna spoke so well about how to cultivate the habits and all that, right? So let's say once you cultivate a habit, right? How does those habits really change your life, Satish?
Yeah. So
because there was a continuation. Let me pose this question to you.
Sure. So basically, I've seen personally in my life that habits are very, very important, and we tend to discount it fully. And some of the great leaders have said also one thing is that we expect some miracles to happen in a very short time, and we think that everything will happen by just starting the process. Every miracle is going to come into our life. But the other thing is what we discount also is the fact that over a period of that time, the small habits that we cultivate and we stick to it.
Looks like we lost connection with Satish. Vivek?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's actually going through a lot. He's going through a lot of training, and he has been having a busy day. So maybe
That's
some
fine.
issues. So can we continue with
so
Rajat?
Rajat, coming to you've been an author, you've been an author coach, you've been an authorpreneur, right? And more than anything, you are one of the strongest fortune changer with us, right? So what is that? How do you motivate yourself to write every day and actually making it a habit? What are the things that you would actually tell people to do that?
Yeah, we do have Satish here. So Satish, yeah, thank you Vivek for asking the question. Maybe after answering this, we will go back to Satish.
Sure.
Yeah. So Vivek, thank you for asking that question. And it was really good to hear the thoughts of Prema and Chetna. So as she was saying, that make a habit of reading. I propose that make a habit of writing as well. So it's not that difficult, of course. I mean, if Chetna,
That makes it a complete circle, Rajat.
correct,
Write and
correct.
read,
I
and
can
then
see
you are
that
good
there
to
is a
go.
book very soon coming from Chetna, as she has read 30 books. So I think 2 or 3 books will surely come by next year. That I think you can take it from this show itself. So to answer your question, yeah, I think I see life is a journey.
I think we missed one element, Rajat. Write, read, and speak.
Yes.
So that completes the golden triangle of
Yes,
success.
absolutely. And here also from podcast, right? So it's all senses. So eyes, you're speaking. So it's like it's a beautiful gem thing. Yeah, Shankar. So I think what I feel is that coming to habits and how you're making yourself motivate to write, I do feel life is a journey, and habits make your journey much more beautiful. It's not a destination, as I say. Life is a destination. Life is always a journey. So of course you need to have a good habit. It's not like bad habits. So good habits make your journey beautiful. And how do you motivate yourself to make your journey beautiful? You need to write every day. As in the previous shows I was mentioning it to you, that writing itself is a therapy. It is one form of a meditation. How do I do it? How I have become an author? So few hacks I can share it with this group and the people who are listening here. One is you need to establish the routine. It's very important to establish a routine, and preferably morning routine. So you wake up, your energy is very high, very focused energy, and if you do that writing hour or writing 30 minutes in the morning, that really always play very well for everyone. So use same hour, same time, same place. That always works. So it's like 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., same time, same place, same hour. That always works. And try to, another reason why it has to be morning is because we human beings are procrastinators, right? So sometimes you keep pushing it to later part of the week. We tend to give excuses later. So avoid that trap. Do that early morning. That's always preferable, always better. Most of the successful authors also I have been uh, really following, they also talk the same and say the same. Second thing is you can motivate yourself by for writing by eliminating the distractions. There are a lot of distractions sometimes you get to see. When you're writing, your mobile needs to be in some other room. All your screen hours, screen devices need to be somewhere else. No TV, no mobile phone, no laptop. Even if you're writing on a Google Doc, you can use some of the apps like Focus or Self Control, where it will not allow you to get some sort of a WhatsApp message or some Telegram message popped in. So have a very clear distraction free writing. Another thing which I really feel, you need to tell your family members, it's very important, that hey, I am writing. This is my 30 minutes writing. I don't want you to kindly disturb me. It will be really beneficial if you don't come over or if you don't talk to me in this time period, and they will understand. See, people have already made up their mind that, oh, Satish is doing his business, it's his business hours, let me not disturb. Or Shankar is doing a job, he's in his job, for example, in this particular time. Same with that establishment of family members have a mindset that, okay, this is a 30 minutes, is his own time, let me not disturb him or her. I think that really works very well for everyone. Do set your daily writing goal as well, Vivek. So just write every day. I'm a writer. I'm an awesome writer. I'm an amazing writer. I'm a best-selling author. And use your, I learned a lot from you, like a Pomodoro technique you can use, where you're putting 25 minutes of writing, put a check mark, which is like don't break the chain concept. Put a check mark, which gives you a good feeling. Take a 5-minute break and repeat. So you can do always this techniques of Pomodoro, of setting the daily routine and writing as well.
Wow.
And I think few other, yeah. So these are the ways.
These are mind blowing, Rajat. I mean, wow. I think the key takeaways I could take from here is that one is you got to slot your time. Next is you got to slot the place where you got to sit and write, and then use the same thing, repeat it again and again. Right, using the so many concepts that you mentioned, Pomodoro technique, that 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then telling your family members is such an important thing, because when you write, I think whenever I've written, I have my young daughter who'll come and just jump on me, and all the thoughts are like gone. I just end up playing with her, and then it's a very interesting one. Apart from these, are there anything quick wins that you can give, which can be like the top 5 habits of successful writers that you have come across? What are the things that they continuously do, which we can actually help our dearest audience here? Whoever is watching, go ahead and put in your comment if you like the tips that you've been getting so far. Over to you, Rajat. The top 5 habits which you have come across that successful writers have in common. And then after that, I would let you actually ask our dear Satish all the questions that you have around on once the habit is formed, what are the next steps?
Sure. Thanks. That's again a very awesome question, Vivek. I do love following some of the successful authors. I do keep reading their biographies and their pages. I think few things which I really found at the top 4 or 5 successful habits of these authors, these awesome, successful, great, beautiful people. Number 1 is they write every day.
It starts with the fact that you have to write every day. Okay, amazing.
Yeah, so 500 words a day at least, 1,000 words, whatever, they write every day. If they're not writing or working on a book, they do some journaling. Maybe they put some sort of a imagination bringing into reality by writing something, really some writing prompts that come out. If I could have been born in Syria, how would my situation be? If I could have been born in the United States, how would I be? If I'm born in some different religion, how would I be? Something like very abstract sometimes, which is like bringing the imagination into reality. So they write every day, not necessarily only the book topics or the new book or upcoming book, but sometimes abstract as well. That's number 1, I would say. Second, many times where I have seen all these beautiful people, they do get up early and they do write. So that's the second habit, which I was mentioning it to you as well. What motivates me as well, of waking up early and then they write. Number 3, I would say, is they're open to criticism. They're open to feedback. Many times, we are not open to feedback. We feel that, hey, I may not be good and somebody may just come out and criticize me. These people, all the successful writers, authors, they like to take a feedback. It's like, that I would rather like to be attacked than unnoticed.
Okay.
I can't be unnoticed. I would rather like to be attacked. That's absolutely fine. So, they're the people who are very much open for feedback, open for criticism on it. Number 4, I would say that they have, I think Prema, Chetna all been saying as well, they have the personal rituals. They have the rituals. Rituals like affirmations. I was reading a story of Scott Adams, who's a very successful cartoonist. Past 15 years, he's been telling himself every day for 15 times, I will be a successful cartoonist. this one line, I will be a successful cartoonist. He's been telling from the time when he got that thought. Two, he became successful until today. He's been speaking out that loud for 15 times. So
Wow.
I think these people have the really awesome affirmations, the personal rituals, one of them which I did share. Last but not the least, I would say that they are disciplined. So of course they understand that writing is not just a hobby. It's a just like any other business or any other job or any other profession. You have to give a weight to it. You can't keep it or see it as it may happen. It will work out itself. Another last point I would say is that they do gel talk a lot with their network of groups of people. So environment really matters as well. So I think that's a successful habit, and that's also going to motivate you when you are near to authors, when you are near to people who've been doing some of these rituals and following it. You tend to become one. That's what I would
Amazing.
say. Vivek.
Amazing, Rajat. Again, just to wrap up, those 5 things, the 5 tips, or rather 5 habits of successful writers. One is they actually write. Second thing is they wake up early. Third thing is they're open for feedback and criticism. Fourth one is they always follow some personal rituals or affirmations. And the fifth one is that they're disciplined. They're not writing for the heck of it. They're not writing as a hobby. They take it as a serious job. Amazing, awesome. So well covered, Rajat. Thank you so very much for your time and answering these amazing, wonderful questions. Would you like to take over and ask Satish?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
So Satish, I will bring on from the time where we lost you. So I know you. You are a health freak yourself. You are the youngest people in this whole group, and I think in the morning, and youngest from heart, from I think all angles. I would say, age, everywhere. I mean, everything. You would say that the passion that you have. So I know. In the morning, I was talking to Satish just to bring you all on same page, and he was talking about 3 pillars of health. One is eat nutrient food. Second, some physical activity. It could be yoga, it could be exercise, it could be meditation, and third is water. How important is water? So like Satish, my question to you is, you have few habits which we do see that what you have come out already as an awesome person, and you are becoming much more awesome and awesome. So what is the secret? What sort of a habits that you have that has changed your life? Satish, if you could share with this group and us.
Sure. So I'll just talk about 2 habits which are having the maximum impact on my life. I will talk about that. It's very close to my heart as well. So one thing, like I said, why habits are important is that, like, we discount the fact that doing small things consistently over a period of months, years, what it does for you is that it transforms you as a person itself. We in our hurry, and in our hurry to even compare ourselves with others, we want quick results, but things don't happen quickly. Things take time. Okay. So for me personally, I would say that from 2001 onwards, I've been on some kind of fitness regime or the other, something or the other. So I heard recently something from some gurus, which actually resonated immediately, and I could compare it to my own life. What they said was that short-term intensity, instead of short-term intensity, what really gets you results is long-term consistency. I think the wording, I'm not sure it's correct. I think that's what they meant. And I've seen that in my life. For me, the fact that I've been doing some kind of routines in terms of health over the years consistently, whether it is running, walking, jogging, yoga, or something or other in terms of physical activity, for me, my self-image is that I am a regular. Okay, maybe I would have skipped in certain months almost like 25 days, and I would have been doing that only for 5 days. But my self-image is that I am doing it consistently, and I strive to do it consistently and come back to the routine. So one of the habits that is very, very close to my heart, and which has shown me results over the last 19 to 20 years, has been a health routine. So today, when people commend me on my looks or on my fitness, it has not happened overnight, but it's not happened with any intensity or with any great learning or great commitment towards one thing. No, it's just happened over a period of time, or doing something very, very small, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, some days even 2 hours, but doing it consistently. Okay, so that is number one. The number two is a habit which I cultivated very recently. Very recently, by that I mean after I quit my corporate career and I started something on my own. So, in my journey, especially when I struggled with business, it forced me to look at avenues and admit to myself that in spite of my knowledge, my experience, my educational background, there is something which is lacking in me. So I sought out gurus who are sometimes half my age, one third my age. In short, most of them or all of them were younger than me. So when I sought out those gurus and when I learned from them, this craving for knowledge is something which took me a long time. It took me, like, I was 25 in the corporate world and 6 years in business, and for the first 3 years I really struggled with business until I sought the gurus and I got that knowledge from them. So today, especially with the day of internet, instead of consuming Netflix, Amazon, there are days when I do binge watch, but there are days which maximum number of days where I seek out these gurus, I learn from them, whether it's podcast, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it is small spurts of voice messages from team members like you. I get today, in fact, in this talk itself, I got nuggets from you, Rajat, from Vivek. I made some notes in my mind, mental. Chetna, I got some notes. We'll hear from Shankar as well. So when you have this yearning for knowledge improvement and consistently improve yourself, and second part of that same point is action taking. When you implement that knowledge into action, then it gives long-term results. So 2 points. One is consistent habit in terms of health regime, exercise or something. And second thing is in terms of seeking out gurus and getting knowledge and implementing that knowledge is something which I've cultivated as a habit, and it is helping me a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. Very good, Satish. Really happy to hear that the two habits which you do have. So if we have time, can I ask one more question, Vivek, from Satish, if you allow me? Yeah.
Of course. But before that, we had an amazing question by Jyoti Kumar. Okay. I think it's any of you can pick it up. They're saying that I think it's more relevant to you, Rajat. Listening is the new reading. Listening is the new reading. Do you have any view on this? Our audience question.
Listening is the new reading. Yeah. Absolutely. I think you can always find listening as a new reading as well, to Jyoti Kumar, right? So I feel that there are different people, different strokes, and that's how it worked out really well. So there are people who have been in terms of writing. There are people saying that, hey, let me do a podcasting, or let me do a Kindle, let me do a regular physical book. So it again depends upon people to people, what sort of a stroke that they like to take. Like recently, I tried to do, maybe I'm not at millennial age, I guess. I tried to read a book through Kindle, and I tried it, for 5-6 pages. I tried to read it, but somehow I did not get that connection, and I actually immediately ordered that same book from, Flipkart, Amazon's as well. That, hey, let me read it, and when it was there physically in my hand, it worked out so beautifully that I read it in next 3 days, all whole of it, which wasn't the case with me when I was Kindle, digitally finding out, or try to read it. So similarly, some people may not like reading through physical. Some people may not see this listening also their own thing. They may say that Kindle or digital watch, digital reading may work out for them, or video. Sometimes podcasting. Some people say that, hey, I need to see the person. I need to see the expressions of the person. So I need to get that sort of a learning from that expressions of the person, how he's been talking, and what sort of a imagery that he has or she has put across. So I feel nothing is right, nothing is wrong, is what I would say. It's different people, different perceptions, different thoughts, different actions that they would take. Like in my terms of writing, when I write a book or when I'm giving a video, I'm also putting it on my podcast channel, because I know that there are some people who are going to be into podcast and they will listen me. Similarly, I've been putting a video as well on my YouTube channel. So some people may need to see it there, or authoring, putting it as a journal, as a blog as well. So it's like different people, it will work differently for them, Vivek.
Makes a lot of sense. Very good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so I have a favorite quote which I say 8 questions, 1 million answers. So it's like different. It's never like life is black or white. Sometimes it works this side, sometimes it works the other side. So I think quickly, thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Jyoti Kumar, for a question. I hope I answered it.
Yeah.
You can just drop a note in case if you have any follow-up question on that. So Satish, my only question is that many times I hear from people who are that health freak and health uh, conscious, they keep saying that I know my body, I know my body. So do you have a comment on that? Sometimes I fail to understand what does this mean. I know my body. I know what is the body requires. So what is your thought on that?
Yeah.
As you've been following this
So I think
health
he wants to
routine.
drop off because he's got some other commitment.
Yes, guys. Sorry, I have to drop off. The other commitment is nothing but it was.
We'll just excuse Vivek. Vivek is going to drop off for some other podcast he's getting into.
Thank
I
you,
think.
everyone.
So
Thank you,
Vivek,
everyone.
thanks for being here.
Bye.
All the very best
See
to
you
you.
guys.
Thanks
All the
for
best.
giving us all the
best.
and
All
information.
the best for
Great.
choosing this.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you, Vivek.
Thanks.
So quickly, Satish, if you could
Yeah.
share about
So-
what is.
Yeah, I'll tell. Yeah. So basically, know your body is very important because today, I was interviewing one of the important doctors in Bangalore for my podcast, and he mentioned that we have outsourced our health to doctors in hospitals, and he's a doctor himself. And coming from a doctor, this was very profound for me, and that made me think also, because our knowledge about health, our bodies, is very, very limited. And if, like in the ancient in Hindu, in the scriptures, they mentioned, know thyself, know yourself, in terms of spirituality, also applies to your body. If you are going to think that someone else is going to help, if someone else is going to take care of my health, then it's not going to work out. There are certain things in life, like your finances, like your knowledge in terms of doing your work area. And third one is in terms of your own health, is something which you cannot outsource to anyone. You need to learn that. You need to imbibe that, build it into a habit, and do it consistently. So if you were to be a little tuned to your body, you'll understand what is it that the body is asking. If it needs rest, if it needs sleep, if it needs less food, if it needs more food. So it's very, very important for everyone to be tuned and attuned to their bodies, gain little knowledge, because today in the age of internet, you got so much of information. Get that information, right information, correlate it to your body, and find out which is the right balance for you, which is the right habit for you. And that's how you will be able to stay healthy for long. You'll not be a burden on your family and society. You'll be a support system for your family and for the society. And today, don't forget that when someone falls sick, it's not just the financial liability, it's also emotional trauma that the family goes through. The entire family is shaken from the core. So it's your responsibility, moral responsibility, to understand the basics of health, take care of your own health first, and take care of your family's health also, and then, if possible, impact the society at large and help them stay healthy. Yeah. So
Thank you.
I think that's my part. Can I quickly switch on to Shankar? Some one or two questions for Shankar. Thank you, Rajat, for your questions.
Thank you.
Shankar, can you hear me? So how do you build power? Shankar is our trading expert. He's an expert who helps people with trading and investments, and he has got an amazing community of people whom he's inspiring, giving them the knowledge, hand-holding them, and taking them across the borderline and ensuring that they're successful. Okay, so the question to him is this: okay, how do I build a powerful habit in terms of trading and investments so that I can make consistent profits in the stock market? What do you suggest?
Super. So, I'm really inspired listening to all of you talking about habit building, all of that stuff, and it's really crazy. The habits are very, very important, all the more in the case of stock market investments and trading, whether it is investment or trading. Because, so I teach something called the system trading to my students. So in system trading, it is very critical that you follow a discipline, follow a rule, follow the habit, okay, every single day to the T. And more so, we get to see that people make mistakes not they make losses not because of the markets or anything, because they are not disciplined, they don't stick to the habit. So it's absolutely important that, especially in the trading, I'll stick to trading for the moment, that you need to have the right habits. So for example, if the market starts at say 9:15, and if you have a habit of say opening up your laptop later and all that stuff, so if you have positions open and if you don't have a stop loss placed, you're gone. I mean, your money is gone. So you cannot, the cost of not having the right habits in trading is very high. Okay, so that is where you need to really master, be in the right environment, follow whatever everybody spoke about, from Rajat Jain to the Chetna to everybody. So start small, continue, make it very, very easy, and make it a process, continuity, and be with the flow, so that you don't miss placing the trades every single day at the same time, at the same rules, so that you when you follow the process, automatically results will follow.
Amazing, amazing. So for the same point, if you were to ask you this question, that how does good habits become so very important in the case of investments for people?
Okay, so see, especially we hear people talking about save for your future, retirement corpus is very, very important. We hear Vivek talking about that. But what we don't know is we need to regularly invest. And I'll give you about 2 tips today. One is a tip related to trading and investing. The other tip is general habit formation. The first tip related to trading and investing is automate. Technology is so fast that you don't have to do it. For example, it can be an SIP. Okay, it can be even a stock SIP. In fact, I have to tell you a secret for people who I generally share this with my high-end coaching clients. So I have a special stocks SIP strategy, which means you pick special 3 stocks every single month and you invest on them. Okay, how you do you build your portfolio, mutual fund portfolio. And I have seen this strategy is highly powerful than the investing in mutual funds. So the only thing is you need to have the habit of doing it, and you need to employ technology, be in the right environment where people, for example, in my community, when I do my weekly coaching calls, where they're all there, I ask in my hot seats. If, for example, Rajat is in my hot seat, I'm going to be asking Rajat, did you invest in the stocks that you have selected? And he says yes, and everybody feels, okay, I am probably missing the FOMO, which is related to success. And they see everybody, okay, I invested and I made profits. I invested, I made profits. So this is the mistake that I made. So I'm going to be correcting this. So all of this, when we include all of these in our trading and investing, I'm tell you, Satish, it works like magic. And I've seen this in my life. I'm seeing this in my students' life. I am seeing this in my mentor's life. And this is a common phenomenon. Second one, which is generally because long ago when I was working for a US company, I actually spoke on habits building for 1 full hour. I was a keynote speaker for one of the internal conference. And in that I spoke about a couple of strategies. I'll only give about one technique now. One is that is called habit stacking. For example, if you want to be fit, let's take the health. So if you want to be fit, before you take your lunch, maybe do 10 push-ups. If you connect your regular, for example, on one page on right hand side, you write everything that you're already doing. So drinking water, drinking tea, all of that stuff. On the right hand side, on left hand side, you write what you're already doing. On the right hand side, you write what you want to do and connect both of them. Okay. For example, before you sip morning cup of coffee, do 10 sit-ups or 20 sit-ups. So you are now connected. Your tea and sit-ups go together.
Nice.
So it's called habit stacking. Another one that Rajat really beautifully actually explained, which is breaking the chain. So basically, you keep doing it and have a proper calendar. So you can generally take a proper calendar. It should be physical calendar. Don't go for the digital calendar. Take a digital physical calendar. After you have done the habit for the day, tick. And it should be seen in front of you. It should be seen. Okay, Next, see,
Wow.
after you build like 11 or 12 days, you will start building a momentum. And here is the secret. Here is the secret. Okay. When people break this, Satish and Rajat, they generally break their complete habit. But the secret is, okay, make a rule within the rule, which is called a sub rule. Okay. Which is because I build processes and systems for trading where the hard earned money is involved. So in this, even if you miss for one day, just write one thing, one tick mark. Okay. Second day is also okay, but just ensure you don't miss for 2 days continuously.
Wow.
Have this as a sub rule within your this thing, so that when you are when you are forming a new habit or when you are doing something, you will be a different person altogether, and you will be asking, am I the same person that I was? You'll forget yourself when you actually be with the right habits. So that's what I have for you, Satish and Rajat, today.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful. Great to hear the thought.
Great. Superb. And Shankar, just quickly, last question. So when you talk about trading, who are the people that you will recommend that they look at trading and learning from people like you? What is it, the class of people, whether it's students, whether it is working class people, whether it's business owners, what kind of profile of people or housewives, who would be the best persons who get the maximum benefit from trading learning?
Okay, good question, Satish. So I generally, if you are a student, just learn. You don't have to join my coaching system. My coaching system is not for students. But if you are a working professional and you are very busy with your everyday this thing, that is where I have my own 15 minutes trader. So I have programs like 15 minutes traders, 5-minute investing or weekend investing, where you take time to learn, but for execution, it should not take much time. Why? Because we are talking about habits. If it takes a lot of time for you to implement, and the secret is in implementation, in execution, however good the strategy is, if you are executing it wrong, then you are playing with your hard-earned money. So even if it is an average strategy, it's absolutely okay as long as you are able to execute it to the T. So that's why I ensure that we pick up those strategies where we are able to execute it to the T, and it's easy for us to execute it, so that your hard-earned money can grow beyond your own imagination over the long run. Okay, it's not a get rich quick scheme overnight. You become this thing. So no, if you give some time, you will see magnificent results. That's also the power of compounding. You guys know the hockey stick growth. You don't see the growth happening in the which tree is that? Bamboo tree. Bamboo tree develops its roots for so many years, and then suddenly when it starts growing, my God, you cannot even imagine how tall it can grow. But you don't see the bamboo tree growing for the first couple of years.
Yeah, so well said. Shankar, thanks for those nuggets. Very good, very insightful. So before we wind up, Rajat, last 30 seconds, do you have any last comments for the listeners?
I would just say that, as Satish did mention, that it's important to imbibe habits. Habits make your life, not life makes your habit. I think Prema was also mentioning that. So you call it life or you call it success. So successful people have understood this very well, that I will be successful by creating habits. It's not the other way around, that because I am successful, I'm going to have more good habits. So I think it's a journey. That's what I would say, Satish. Everybody need to have the good habits and enjoy this beautiful journey. Life is short, life is beautiful. So enjoy with the good habits, and few habits, not so many, good few habits.
Yeah, wonderful. I think also the point that Shankar mentioned about physically having a checklist and ticking it off, I think that's so very important, because even I, for one, I'll confess that I used to have an Excel sheet where I keep a tab of everyday habits, whether I'm doing it or not, and give point system for that. how many points I've gained today, so whether I'm doing well or wrong. But I think physical makes more sense because it gives you an immediate, validation whether you're going right or whether you're going somewhere faltering, right?
So
Thank you
talking
very
about
much.
the scoring system, Satish, I'll close
Sure.
this. So
Please.
talking about the scoring system, you can actually build your own personal scorecard system, and you can actually assign different points for different habits, which will
Very
eventually help you reach your goal. For example, if
Wow.
health is my priority, I will give higher scoring mechanism for
Yeah.
physical activity, and
Yeah.
say maybe related to yoga and meditation. And if I do
Yeah.
it on a particular day, I will assign 1,000 points.
Yeah.
If I'm
Very well
watching
said.
TV, then minus 500. For example, sitting for 2 hours and binge watching TV,
Yeah.
minus 500.
Yeah.
So net
Yeah.
I will get a score. I will go which are the high scoring activity, and I just have to follow the high scoring activity.
Very
And
nice.
once you reach 2,000, reward yourself. Once
Yeah,
you
you
reach
need to
2,000,
reward yourself.
reward yourself.
Very well said. Very well said. So thank you very much, all of you fortune changers, for the fortune talk. It was very, very insightful. Thanks to Shankar and Rajat who are still here with us, and also to Vivek, Chetna, and Prema. And looking forward
Thank
to
you.
interacting with you next week once again at the same time on Sunday. Right.
See
All
you
the very best, all of
all.
us.
See you. Bye.